how much time you took to shoot the whole thing and put it together?
It took us upwards of 6 months just to film it.
Oh.
And when I say 6 months, unlike fiction, we weren't shooting almost every day. It was scattered across strategic times when one, Rajamouli sir was available. Secondly, when he's campaigning for his film RRR, or there was a certain story beat that we needed to follow. But it wasn't just about filming. There was a lot of preparation that went into before filming. The research, the structuring, the reiterations of that research takes a lot of time.
When you make a documentary on a living legend like Rajamouli, all we know is about what he does on the set and how brilliant he is at his cinematic abilities. You also have to show the personal side of that person. How, as a director, were you able to capture that?
When you're making a film on a person, a living person, a subject, it has to be access driven. I am deeply appreciative of Rajamouli sir and his entire family to trust us and give us that access. The second and the most important part is perhaps winning the trust of your subject, where they should feel comfortable to be natural in front of you. And then it's just about doing thorough research, following your subject, what in the documentary world we call verite filming, where you're actually a fly on the wall.
Just the observer.
Yes, just the observer. But you also have to be extremely mindful that you're not
You're
doctoring.
actually not directing.
The least you can direct is the most you direct.
Yeah.
That you're not doctoring the events that would otherwise unfold. The naturality of it all needs to be retained. That is the fabric of documentary filmmaking.
And what is that outstanding quality about Mr. Rajamouli that you learnt after doing this whole thing with him that we probably don't know about?
I think it reflects very well in modern masters, but one thing that I've gone away with as deepest source of inspiration from him is the humility with which he carries his success and the person he is.
Yeah. And you had watched all his works, right?
Yes, it was actually a lot of, when we were working, I was not in India for most part of that time, and there was Anupama ji, there was my co-director Tanvi and the entire team, including the DOP, Nikunj, and what we were doing was we were watching a lot of his films, and then we started finding certain through lines, which was his artistic signature.
Right.
Like the way he celebrates his male heroes. I think nobody else does that in Indian cinema.
They look like gods.
Yes, they do. And then how he stages his action sequence, his panache for world building. You could see traces and signs of it in his body of work. And obviously when you've seen RRR, when you've seen Baahubali, and you see his work 15 years before, you realize that that artistic flair was always there, just that the canvas kept on getting bigger.
I watch documentaries very fondly. लेकिन वो culture ही नहीं है इंडिया में documentary का. An average movie seems to be more exciting than a brilliant documentary in terms of content for an average Indian, and that's a despicable state for documentaries.
No, what you rightly said, I will not deny this fact that documentaries were not mainstream. If you look at 10 years ago, documentaries were definitely not considered serious viewing or entertainment-based viewing by Indian audience.
Doordarshan's world.
Correct. There was a certain stigma to it. I think I have to credit streaming at large, where the documentary wave that started internationally on streaming gained wide traction in India. We came from a point where we realized that, okay, we have to marry the best practices of journalism with the highest aesthetics of cinema. And that's where the richest form of documentary storytelling lies.
How nice.
So, a part of the slate I worked on included The Hunt for Veerappan in India, House of Secrets in India, The Elephant Whisperers, which I was the co-commissioner of.
Which got to the Oscars.
Yes, we all are very lucky to have worked on that project. Midnight Asia, that was a pan-Asia nightlife nocturnal documentary series. So we worked across a range of documentaries.
Wonderful.